What often happens when a general manager moves to a new location is that you become aware of what's happening or what's relevant to that particular property, and that's obviously what happened with me here. We get acquainted with different situations and with different guests and clients, and in this case, met partners with the Invasive Species Council of BC that helped to educate me on things like the beautiful ivy that I thought was lovely growing on our hotel, which I have to tell you literally took like mega machinery to pull off the building. And I guess I don't have to tell you that because you're all much more educated on this than I am. But we literally had to engage cranes and earth movers and power saws because this building's been here for 40 years. So it had really gotten a hold of the building, and you can actually see some of the damage that it has done. So we can certainly attest to how strong and how invasive that particular English ivy species is. We identified very quickly that one of the things, or the fundamentals that we wanted to retain was our green team. We have an environmental committee of employees that ensure that we recycle and reuse and repurpose as much as possible. We participate in the Green Key program, which is a leading environmental certification body that's designed for our accommodation and meeting industry. Our chief engineer and our hotel manager are currently working on replacing the boilers in our hotel, making them more efficient, making our hotel more efficient, and we're working closely with BC Hydro on a relamping program for both the internal and the external part of our hotel. Our culinary team is very passionate about what they do and even more committed now of their support of local farmers, producers, fisheries, and suppliers in the area to be able as much as possible to use local producers to supply our food and beverage operation. As a new company, we decided that being invasive-free was one of the guidelines for our new procurement policy. And at the time we needed to renew our landscaping contract, it was important that that not only be a local company right here in Richmond, but that one of their values included being invasive species free. And as a result, we now work with Beaver Landscaping. And I'm hoping that some of you have noticed that things are looking pretty good around here. I think everything's looking a lot sharper from a landscaping perspective, but also we're getting closer and closer to our goal of being invasive species free as well. Environmentally conscious consumers and meeting planners will ask all the right questions, and more they're basing their purchasing decisions on our environmental practices. We're finding this locally, but we're also finding this internationally as well. This is pretty unique for a hotel to have this much in the way of grounds and landscaping. We want to welcome our guests to an environment that's very natural, that's very British Columbia, and encourage them to experience the outdoors while they're with us. We've talked with the Invasive Species Council of BC about assisting us with properly labeling some of the things within the gardens as we continue to progress, and possibly use signage to help educate our guests as well as those just in the community that utilize our facility about invasive species as well.